Hi everyone. I just wanted to make a quick screencast to walk you through part one of MTA number 2. I've gotten a few questions about it, and so I figured this might be helpful for everyone. First and foremost, I really do recommend that you look at each of these tutorials. They're going to help you write functions in an Excel spreadsheet, which is going to look a little different than you just multiplying or dividing or subtracting or whatever the math problem is in particular. So I'm just going to show you one of these really quickly, and then I'm going to kind of show you what it looks like in the spreadsheet. So if I go ahead and click on this one, it kind of gives me some instructions on how to add numbers in a cell. So, at first it says click any blank cell and then type in an equal sign to start a formula, right? And so that's going to also be like what a function is. And then, after the equal sign, type in a few numbers separated by a plus sign. So for example, 50 plus 10 plus 5 plus 3, and then push return. What it's not showing you right here in this, math problem is there needs to be the plus sign in front of 50. So let me go over here and show this to you. So for instance, if I'm just going to do it in a random cell, but if I were going to do a similar math equation, I would do equals plus 10. I can't remember what the other ones were, but I'm just going to do all of these. So it has to have that equal sign right there, and then when I hit enter, it adds it all up. And if you hover over it, you can see what the function is up at the top. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and delete that because the other thing that I wanted you to know is you need to really do all of this in order, right? It's not going to work if you don't do it in order properly. So, the first thing you do is you put the total number, which is 1,000 that you have to spend, into B3. So I'm just going to show you that really quick. So 1,000. Great, I have $1,000, right? So the next thing it says, in cell D15, use a function to calculate your total expenditures. Hint. So you're going to sum all expense cells in the My Cost column D6 through D11, right? So D6 through D11. They're empty right now. That's on purpose, okay? So basically what you're going to do is you're going to use that summing idea and say, okay, equals sum, and I'm going to hit a parenthesis. I'm going to drag all of these, close my parenthesis, and hit enter, right? So right now I've not spent any money because nothing's in here. And if we go back to that tutorial, and so adding numbers using cell references, right? So this is kind of what it walks you through. And if you see here, as equals, C1, which is this one, plus D1, which is this one, and it gives you these colors, and you hit enter, and it basically does what you want it to do. Okay, so if I were doing the next part, so the remaining total, then I need to come down here. So it says in D17, use a function to calculate your remaining total. Hint, subtract the total money, so that's this one, right? So the total money to spend cell from the total expenditures cell, using cell references for both. Okay, so all right, let's see. So if I do equals B3, and notice it highlights that, minus D15, right? Remaining total is $1,000, and that's correct because I haven't spent any money yet, right? So that's what you're going to do throughout this, and it'll tell you kind of what you should be doing, right? The only one where I think it's a little tricky is probably this one, and so it says and this is you can't do this until you get down here, but it says in cell D11, use a function to calculate how much you will have left to spend on shopping total. Hint. So you're going to subtract the number that you see in total expenditures. So you're not going to use a cell reference here, but you're going to, whatever number is here, you're going to end up subtracting that from the total money to spend. So you would use a cell reference. So it would be like equals B3 minus whatever actual number you see here. You can't use a cell reference for the total expenditures because basically whatever number ends up being here, we'll subtract from that, and it messes up with the function. So it would end up being, you know, equals B3 minus whatever number you end up seeing here. So right now it's 0, so it's 1,000, but it's not going to be 0 later. So if you have any questions, please just let me know and really try to practice using those functions.